prayer. Almighty God, you have blessed us with memory, reason, and skill. Help us to use them wisely in the service of our town government. We ask this in your holy name. Amen. Pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, gentlemen, you have the minutes of December the 29th. Is there any additions or deletions to those minutes?
Motion we accept as is.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, we generally open up to the public. If anybody from the floor wishes to speak to the board at this time. Celine?
We haven't had a meeting yet at the county level. We had our organizational meeting last week, and we also met with the attorney for Casella Waste Management. Tomorrow night, when we have our meeting, we'll probably be approving a resolution that the county will be the lead agency for a secret review for the landfill, because Casella wants to proceed with 175,000 tons at the landfill. In exchange for that, they have agreed to maintain the convenience stations as is for 23 years, which I think is good news because they were threatening to turn them over to the town for a while. So. Also, they will cap the cost of the stickers for 23 years at $1.50 a bag, which is what they are now. The 15.
For 20 years, they'll cap it?
For 23 years, yeah. So we have 23 years left in our lease with them.
So nobody will pay over $1.50 for the next 23
Yeah,
years?
for $3 if you have the 30-gallon bag. $1.50 is the sticker price for a 15-gallon.
Is it going to be the same for commercial haulers too?
No, the commercial haulers at the Moore's transfer station will be going, that's the only transfer station we have, will be going from $63, will be going to $63. I think it's $54 now. They wanted to increase it by 18. I got them to agree to break it up, 9 this January and 9 next year. Just commercial haulers.
Not for 23 years though.
I think they're going to do this for the initial 10-year term of the lease, and then it's going to be indexed according to some of the terms we have in the current lease. Also, they're going to buy the Newell Court properties. Of course, we've been sued on Newell Court, so I think it's about $1 million for each property, so they're going to purchase the Newell Court properties. They're going to pay us for all our seeker-related expenses. So these are some of the main things, some other small stuff that they've agreed to do for us. So, I think we're quite pleased with Casella generally. We've reduced our county debt from over $18 million to less than $8 million now in 2 years. So they've really helped us get out of the red. Because we're still in the red, but at least we're digging ourselves out. So, but I was pleased with some of these terms. We were quite concerned about the convenience stations in smaller communities, especially the smaller communities like Cherubusco, Altona, some of the small ones. So.
Is there any chance in changing the convenience station days open time? I guess they're Thursday and Saturday for us. Is there any chance of moving that to another day, like a Monday and
Monday and
maybe a Saturday?
We can look at it.
Or Tuesday and a Saturday?
Thursday is not a good day.
Well, I've got some people that complain, but I guess there are other people that do like the Thursday schedule. But maybe this is a chance to find out from the public, if they like the Thursday and Saturday schedule, or.
Yeah. No one has contacted me. I'd be very happy to hear from people what they would like. See what we can
Well, I
do
hear,
with Casella.
by meeting them on the streets and everything.
Tom will call me.
I will.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Celine. Anyone else care to address the board at this time? Okay. Thank you. Well, as this is the first meeting of the year, we're going to go to our memorandum sheet. It's the appointments for 1999. Deputy Supervisor, Jules Strahan. Water and Sewer Committee, Ralph Cookman and Clifford Demers. Highway Committee, Mr. Jules Trahan and Mr. Clifford Demers. Grants Committee, Ralph Cookman and Bruce Wallach. Building Committee, Mr. Jules Trahan and Mr. Clifford Demers. Handicap Discrimination Committee, Ralph Cookman and Mr. Demers. Emergency Preparedness Committee, this is a new committee that we've established this year, Mr. Bruce Wallach and Mr. Ralph Cookman. Code Enforcement Officer, Mr. George Ducharme. Deputy Code Enforcement Officer, Michael Rascott. Zoning Officer, Barbara Jarvis. Town Attorney, Henry Van Acker. Register of Vital Statistics, Ralph Gilpin. Budget Officer, Arnold Beal. Fire Warden for Champlain, Gene Glad. Fire Warden for Rouse's Point, Bobby J. Deputy Superintendent of Highways, on the recommendation of Mr. Sam Castine, he's appointed Tim Parsons. Fixed Assets Clerk, Jane West. Youth Director, Linda Fredette. Harassment Officer, Jane West. Deputy Tax Collector, Shirley Dupie. Marriage Officer, Janice Letourneau. Local Development Corporation Representative, Bruce Wallach. Town Engineer, Wayne Ryan. Cable Franchise, Mr. Ralph Cookman. Bingo Inspector, Mr. Michael Rascott. So, gentlemen, these are the supervisors' appointments. Are you all in favor of those appointments?
Motion to ratify.
Ratified by the board. So moved by Mr. Cookman. Is there a second?
Second.
You all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The next part of your memorandum is for the Town of Champlain first meeting. The setting of the meeting. Meeting night is set for the second Tuesday of each month. Do I have a motion that we set the second Tuesday of each month for the meeting night?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Trahan, second. Mr. Demars, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Number 2, we have the official depository of funds. We have A, the Champlain National Bank, B, Key Bank, C, Evergreen Bank, and D is Chase Lincoln Bank. Gentlemen, I have a motion that the official depositories be those 4 banks. Moved by Mr. Cookman, is there a second by Mr. Demars, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 3 is the travel rate of pay. Right now, we're set at 26 cents per mile. We checked today, and you can go as high as 31 cents a mile before reporting it to REIRS for your income tax. So is there anyone that wants to have a motion to raise and increase the travel rate of pay from 26 cents?
I make a motion to leave it at 26 cents.
Motion to leave it 26 cents.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion on that motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have number 4, the highway superintendent limit to purchase is now set at $1,500 without board approval. Should that be raised, lowered?
Make a motion, stays as is.
Make a motion that's left at $1,500, and second by Mr. Wallach. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Veterans Organizations, BFW in Champlain. B is BFW in Rouse's Point. C is the American Legion in Champlain. D is the American Legion in Rouse's Point.
Donation when you talk about giving them some money.
Yeah. Safety Committee, Mr. Tim Parsons, Mr. George Ducharme, Mr. Ralph Cookman, Mr. Sam Castine. Number 7 is the Zoning and Planning Board, Board of Assessment Review. Representative is Bruce Wallach. Number 8, the Zoning Board of Appeals. We have John Paul Tatro, Mike Tatro, Bruce West, Gene Ward, Kathy Woodward. Number 9, the Planning Board. We have Francis Loran, Carl Shank, Richard Lamb, George Cookman, Wayne LaValle. Board of Assessment and Review. Members are Homer Miller, Francis Robert, Betty Trombley, Vernon Taylor, Roland LaValle. Number 11, the official newspaper is the Press Republican and the North Countryman. Gentlemen, I have a motion that we make the official newspaper, Press Republican, and the North Countryman.
The only comment I'd have on that would be if we name two of them as official newspapers, some people say that means you have to publish every notice in both of them every time you have one.
We've always done that, though.
We've been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
I don't know if it's right or wrong, but we've been doing it.
And the main advertisement is in the Press Republican. Okay, gentlemen, have a motion on accepting the Press Republican and the North Countryman as official newspaper.
Make a motion.
By Mr. Trans, a second by Mr. DeMars. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Number 12 is motion to adopt all current town policies for the year 1999. I have a motion that the policies that we have in place now be continued for the year 1999.
I make a motion.
Motion by Mr. DeMars, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wallet. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to appoint town, well, we don't do that yet.
No.
No. Okay, I think we're done there. You're going to read the salaries?
Yeah, we're right.
Okay. You want to do that now?
We're ready.
Okay, the clerk will read the salaries for the town of Champlain for the elected and the appointed officials for the year 1999.
Supervisor, $9,500. Councilpersons, 4 at $4,000 each. Superintendent of Highways, $15,000. Working superintendent, additional $14,000. Town clerk, $13,500. Zoning officer, $8,800. Town attorney, $8,500. Registrar of statistics, $650. Deputy town clerk, $600. Budget officer, $500. Assessor, $33,500. Judge, $12,750 each, there's 2 of them. Marriage officer, $600. Tax collector, $4,000. Safety officer, $7,200. Youth director, $2,000. Board of Assessment and Review, $300 each, there's 5 of them. Total of $1,500. Bingo inspector, $500. Public Works superintendent, $2,000.
Motion to accept those salaries. Okay, gentlemen, you heard the salaries read. Do you have a motion to accept those salaries?
Make a motion we accept.
Motion by Mr. DeMars, and a second by Mr. Cookman. Roll call vote, Mr. Wallet?
Yes.
Mr. DeMars?
Yes.
Mr. Cookman?
Aye.
Mr. Trahan?
Aye.
Carried. Gee, no, such. Okay, gentlemen, we have the code enforcement officer's report for your information. We have a letter from New York State Electric and Gas, and it goes to say, please find attached a complete copy of the street lighting inventory for the town of Champlain. 9 sectors completed a full field review of the street lights in your town and has reconciled our property billing records to reflect the current inventory. We conduct a complete field review on a 5-year cycle to verify every light in the field with our internal property and billing records to assure billing accuracy. Our records note that our current billing is accurate and consists of the field inventory. Please take a few minutes to complete and enclose inventory with your town records. If both agree, please sign and return the copy of this letter to confirm that the inventory is consistent with your records. Is that what you got, Ralph? Did you verify that? Okay, this will be given to the town clerk to verify. Because we got into a year here where we're taking lights out. Okay, number 2 on your agenda is from the Office of State Comptroller, and it's dear local government official. Enclosed is a notification of the average estimated cost threshold to be used determining whether it's necessary to obtain approval of the State Comptroller for certain special district actions in 1999. Certain low-cost special districts, i.e. those that fall at or below average estimated cost threshold computed by the State Comptroller's office, do not require the approval of the State Comptroller. And they're telling us that for sewer, it's $587, and for water, it's $524. That's town districts. So, with what we do in the future, we may not be subject to approval of the state comptroller if we stay below those figures. Okay, number 3 on your agenda is from Robert J. Miller and Associates, and this goes along. It says, "Dear Supervisor, as a chief elected official of the town of Champlain, you face financial challenge far greater than those by CEOs of the nation's largest industrial organizations. Unlike your corporate CEOs can eliminate products and service, raise prices, and hire and fire as necessary to reduce the element of operation deficit. But there is one resource available to your corporate counterparts cannot obtain. That is a piece of over $100 billion in grant funds available to the nation's 26,000 city, towns, and villages. These dollars flow from over 41,000 private foundations and federal and state government." So the letter goes on to say that they would be glad to help us in grants. And I'd like to turn this over to the Grants Committee for their information and also for their...
Well, talk to me about that after, because they've been here and made presentations, and they've been here and talked to us several times.
These guys are professionals. Number 4 on your agenda is again from New York State Electric and Gas, and this goes to say it's from Bob Perkins, and he would like to ask for your support of placing a telephone call to the Public Service Commissioner, Chair Maureen Hellman, at 518-474-2523, noting the following: that you strongly support lowering the electric rates for the residents in your town, that you are in favor of technical conference that has been supported by our elected officials, so this issue can be discussed in a public forum. Number 3, and ask when you could expect the conference to be scheduled. So with your permission, I would like to call the Public Service Commissioner and ask them when they are going to schedule a conference for the public forum. Board approval? Number 5 on your agenda is from Clinton County Department of Personnel, and this goes to say that Clinton County has available a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week civil service exam hotline should anyone wish to review current exam announcement. The hotline provides a list of all current exams we are announcing, the minimum qualifications, and the closing dates. This hotline also allows you to leave your name, address, and title of exam should you wish to mail an announcement, or you may stop by this office at 137 Market Street, Plattsburgh, anytime during the working hours of Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The number is 565-4455 to access the Clinton County Civil Service Exam Hotline. It's for the public and your information, gentlemen. This letter is Telurgy. It's due to underground utilities crossing I-87, and it goes to say, Telurgy is a telecommunication company that has been selected by the State of New York Department of Transportation to install fiber optic telecommunications cable along I-87 corridor from Albany to Canadian border. Telurgy intends to build this route during the 1999 construction season. To ensure that Telurgy does not interrupt service to any of your facilities, we ask that you provide us with the location, size, and type of your cast iron water line of your facilities that cross I-87. If you have any questions or concern, please feel free to contact myself or Lisa Fontaine at 315-433-5330. I thank you for your anticipated cooperation in this matter. So we have that water line that runs across I-87 that is the landfill area, Ridge Road water. So did you get a copy of this?
No.
Okay.
Yours on.
Here, I'll give you my
Yeah,
copy.
I think I can wait.
Why
If we had a map.
don't you get in
plan.
contact with her and ask her what she needs for, if she needs mapping or anything, and
I think I have a map of planning there or something.
Number 7 on your agenda is from the State Board of Real Property Service, and that is our state equalization rate, which the 1998 state equalization rate status is 99.35 tentative, with the percentage change in estimate of full value to 1.03%. So that, I asked Pat today if she's gonna contest that, and she said, no, there's no way that we won't. This New York State availability for review in the Department of Environmental Conservation, I think we had last meeting, didn't we? We talked about, that's that parking area,
Kingsway Bay.
yeah. So that's taken care of.
Not gonna get too many cars on there, are they?
They might, if you open it up.
30 by 45 parking lot?
Well, it's gonna keep 3 cars off the road. Okay, number 9 on your agenda is from the Village of Champlain, and it's a reference to the letter that they sent us in October. And it says, Dear Arnie, on October the 8th, 1998, we informed you that some meter discrepancy for the Ridge Road, landfill in the Perry Mills district. We are presently preparing our next billing and have discovered that the Ridge Road master meter is still not working. It is now about 21% lower than the individual meters. Please advise what is being done to correct this situation. We will know Monday about the Ridge Road, and we will send the village a letter stating what has been done. We corrected the Perry Mills, and we did replace the oil-filled meter with a regular meter, and it's only 50 gallons off between the main meter and the user's meter. We there took the oil-filled meter out of the Ridge Road and put in the regular meter, and we will know Monday if it is the meter's fault. That's about, and we will contact the village Monday afternoon when we find out for sure. Number 10 on your agenda is a notice of public hearing to review the uniform tax exemption policy of the County of Clinton Industrial Development Agency. This is scheduled for March the 22nd. Oh, wait a minute. No, their policy, the agency has adopted its current uniform tax policy on May the 22nd, 1995, and readopted it with revisions on January the 21st, 1997, and September the 2nd, 1997. A copy of which is on file at the office of the agency at 61 Area Development Drive, Plattsburgh, New York. The agency is considering whether A, to retain the currently adopted policy, B, to revise the current adopted policy, and C, to adopt proposed revisions and adoptions of the uniform tax exemption policy prior to April the 1st, 1999. This public hearing will be the final public hearing before adoption of the uniform tax exemption policy. The agency will at said time place and hear all persons with views on either the current uniform tax exemption policy or comments on the contents of the revised policy. A transcript of the summary report of the hearing will be made available to the Clinton County legislators of Clinton County, New York. Written comments will be accepted at or prior to the public hearing at 61 Area Development Drive, Plattsburgh, New York. Written or verbal comments will be accepted at the public hearing, dated December the 28th. But their hearing is scheduled for on the 2nd day of March, 1999, at 5 o'clock. That's p.m. local time. And it will be held at the Legislators' Chamber, Clinton County Government Center, located at 137 Market Street in the city of Plattsburgh, Clinton County, New York, in conjunction with the following matter. So if anyone wishes to attend that meeting, that is on, again repeat, the 2nd day of March, 1999 at 5 p.m. Okay, gentlemen, number 11 on your agenda is from the Village of Champlain. It says, Dear Arnie, enclosed, please find an executed copy of the fire contract. As you are well aware, we have had much discussion in many meetings regarding the need to change from a village municipal fire department to an independent fire department, our district. On November the 11th, 1998, my board accepted this fire contract at your offer of $55,340, with the understanding that this will be the last contract for fire and ambulance service between the village and the town of Champlain. As we have discussed, we need to change the way these services are provided. Hopefully, we can resolve this issue to the satisfaction of all parties involved. Number 12 on your agenda is from the Hartford. And this is the supervisor. It says, Dear Mr. Beal, enclosed is information on the Hartford's Guide to Emergency Preparedness Planning Manual. It is a 263-page manual that will guide users through the steps necessary to develop and customize an emergency preparedness plan for your operations. This guide will help you to understand why emergency preparedness planning is essential, how to identify and prioritize hazards, how to create an effective plan for preparedness and response and recovery with training to provide, and more. This manual consists of A, getting started, establishing a policy and an organization, assessment planning, identifying hazards, risks, and assets for the plan, preparedness, developing a plan of readiness, and much more. And the cost of the program is $149. So, with the new committee that we have, the Emergency Preparedness Committee, I would like to purchase this book with the board's permission for that committee.
I would think, if I were on that committee, I think it'd be a good idea to give us an idea of what we're supposed to do. I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Cookman. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. DeMars. Any further discussion on that motion? Not. All in favor?
Aye.
The only other thing I had that probably wasn't on your agenda, gentlemen, is from New York State Controller McCall. And it goes to say that the life expectancy of the American public has been increasing steadily. Therefore, it is more important than ever now that people plan as early as possible for their retirement. However, the majority of the people have little or no experience in developing any type of financial plan. Without proper financial planning, many of your employees may not be able to enjoy the retirement lifestyles that are desired. With this in mind, State Controller H. McCall is pleased to announce the Spring and Summer 1999 series of one-day financial planning seminars for Title III and IV members who are under the age of 50. These seminars, entitled Planning for Tomorrow, Today, are designed to make these members aware of the need for pre-retirement planning and provide information to help them make necessary adjustments to their current personal financial situations in order to reach their retirement goals. The seminars are scheduled for, in our area, Plattsburgh, Clinton County, sunny Plattsburgh, on May the 26th. So if you have anybody, Sam, that wants to go to that, for the retirees, if I could have permission from the board to allow any member that's under 50 for the town that's under the Title III and IV be allowed to attend this seminar.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. DeMars. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Mr. Trahan. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. I did receive something that you guys might want to look at after the meeting. And there are two brochures entitled Trees and Ice Storms, the Development of Ice Storm Resistance, Urban Tree Population, and Planting Trees. Two very good brochures, and they did a nice workup on the ice storm and explaining to you how an ice storm occurs. So if you'd like to see this after the meeting, it is very interesting. On the Zoning Board of Appeals, we have, even though they were appointed tonight, there is two people that we have to reappoint. On the Zoning Board of Appeals, there's Michael Tatro and Bruce West, that their appointments are up on the 1st of '99. So I have a motion that they be reappointed. Bruce and Mike Tatro.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Wallet. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Trahan. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have a reappointment also on the planning board. Those two people are Carl Shank and Richard Lamb.
So moved.
That
Second.
moved in second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried.
Shank and
Richard Lamb, Dr. Lamb. Jules, you gonna handle that Barb's request in your report, her office equipment and her,
I haven't got the update on it.
okay. Well, to bring you up to date, she went back to them and had them reclassify everything and reprice it. She looks like they could get it down to somewhere around 2,000, but she wants to know if she could have a limit of spending of 2,500. This is for Barb's new workstation.
What is she getting for 2,500?
I gave everybody a copy of what we purchased for Pat. It's on the same guidelines as that. She probably would not need the bookcases that Pat has, but she would need probably another desk part that Pat doesn't have. You got the old
this
request?
is the old one, yes,
Yeah.
5,700 or 5,200.
Yeah. The 5,200 was way, way, way out of sight.
Well, they had the whole office done,
Yeah.
done over and the thing, she was gonna take out the stuff that was not needed out of that thing.
Yeah.
And
The lady
reason
was-
they did the whole office, and eventually you wanted it, then it'd be all the same thing in there.
If you
Some
want,
of this was not needed right now, so it's,
you know, if you want, we can wait another month and get the for sure prices on it. Or if you want to set a fixed price of not to go over that amount.
if she's got this down where she wants it now, or?
Just about.
I mean, I didn't look at the
Yeah.
last thing.
Well, the lady was supposed to give her a fax or a copy of the prices today, but they didn't come in. So you can do one of two things. You can set a price of no going over 2,500, or you can wait till next month to get the list and pick it apart then.
I'll make a motion that we let her go buy this workstation, but not to exceed $2,500.
Not to exceed 2,500. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Demars. Is there any further discussion on this motion? No further discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carried.
I would end up with a 5.
I think that's all I have.
Do we have another request?
Uh, I'll give you- Huh?
From Pat?
No. No, that's what we purchased for Pat last year. That's what, you know, the workstation that you put in there? Didn't you put that in for her?
Yeah, that's the one you got.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's the work, just to give you a guideline on what we spent on for her workstation. That one piece that she had there was $800.
Okay. I have had something asked to me, but not in writing. The judges are looking for a fax machine. Do we have an extra fax?
Yes, we have a fax, and I'll put it out there this week for them, for outgoing fax only.
Nothing coming in?
No,
No.
no. I'm not gonna buy another line. We don't have that many faxes.
They agreed to that.
They've already agreed for outgoing fax, and I'm gonna make a statement right here now. I'm gonna put it back there for outgoing fax only. They can take and use their line to let a fax go out. But an incoming fax, they won't be able to do that, and I'm not gonna buy a line for incoming fax because we don't have that much business.
They claim they're missing a lot of, I'm just repeating what was asked of me.
He was in talking about it the other day, and he was very happy with
Yeah.
the fax going out.
Is this later than 4 days ago?
Yeah.
Well,
This was Friday.
what'd I tell you?
Friday, they were happy with
This
the
was-
fax outgoing only.
This was a week ago last night.
Friday, this is Tuesday, this was Friday, they said it was all right the way we just talked about it.
Yeah.
I seen one of them Sunday.
The main reason is, the fax is pretty good for outgoing, it's not too hot on
Most of the stuff
incoming.
they do.
They
is
claim they're
black.
missing, from what I understand, they claim they're missing a lot coming in. I'm just repeating.
One of them told me Sunday that they have very little coming in, most of theirs.
That's what I understood.
They want it nearby.
He seemed very happy that they were getting anything.
Yeah.
You can't win.
Going out is at no cost.
Yeah.
Coming in is what it costs.
Of course, coming in, I gotta get another line, and that's about about $30 a month. We can use the same line.
And the phones, they can't use the phone.
Can't use the phone.
Because it's your incoming line for your phone.
You have to
That
have a private
phone
line.
tied up waiting for the taxes.
So I do it all, I use one line.
They got the one here for incoming.
You got
They
a
got,
fax
in
number?
fact, they wanted to keep the same one for incoming because they've all got, all their numbers are out to that to everybody.
I don't believe we have enough
And
business.
then they want to change that number.
Two fax that point.
For incoming.
Incoming. All right, thank you. Anything else? Well, I guess we can go to committee reports then. Building committee, anything on building committee from Mr. Tran and Mr. Demars?
Nothing at this time?
Good? On grants committee? No. Okay. Board of Assessment Review, Bruce, anything here? Highway committee, Mr. Tran, Mr. Demars?
No.
That's quiet, huh? Water and sewer committee, Mr. Cookman, Mr. Morris?
The only thing I've got to ask is that if Sam could have his water people leave a report once a week or every couple of weeks in our box of what's going on. I know Arnie brings it up at the meeting, but this is sometimes the first time we hear about it as the water committee. So if they could keep us abreast of what's going on with a report, once a week, drop it in our box.
Would you like a copy of the work order request, maybe?
Yeah, all right. So we,
I'll have Barb just every time she does a
I
work
know
order
you bring it up at
request.
the meeting, Arnie, I understand.
We have a work order, then we'll get a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a copy of the work order request. That
So we know what's
Yeah.
going on ahead of time.
Sure.
And we're supposed to start meeting with the Village of Champlain on the water and sewer on February 2nd to discuss what we can do with the water and sewer coming into the town. Red and myself are gonna meet with them at 6:30 at the Village of Champlain office.
1st of February?
Second.
2nd.
2nd of February. That's all we have.
Anything else, Red? Landfill update, Mr. Tran?
It's pretty quiet at the landfill right now. I got a report from Casella, and they thinking that the price on the monitor, on the lab work will be less than what they quoted us. Exactly, we don't know yet. They're still working with a couple different outfits.
They're gonna get back to us.
So that should be cut a few dollars there on that part. But we're gonna need the money for other stuff there anyways.
Anything else?
That's it.
Anything other to come from the councilman at this time? Nothing to be discussed? Have town clerk's report?
First of all, I gave you all in your box my annual town clerk report with all the income, now, oil money. Anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Some reason try to read all that. Next thing is I want to make the following appointments. Deputy town clerk with duties limited to selling dog licenses, Mrs. Jane West and Mr. Bruce Supernaut. Deputy town clerk with duties limited to selling dog licenses and conservation licenses, Mrs. Teresa Gilpin.
Hey, gentlemen, you've heard the two appointments. I have a motion to appointments be granted. That was a motion. Motion by Bruce, second to the motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Tran. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Every year we have a bookkeeping resolution that we have to pass. I'll read it to you in some of it. someone would like to, they can make a motion. In lieu of filing the town's financial report by the supervisor with the New York State Audit and Control, he be and is authorized instead to file a copy of his annual report given to the State Comptroller's Office within 60 days of the close of the fiscal year. And further, he forward a copy of the proof of publication of said report in the official town newspaper when filing said audit and control.
Okay, gentlemen, you heard the motion. We be allowed to do that? So moved by Mr. Cookman. Is there a second by Mr. Trahan? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Okay, I have an announcement here to read. The 1999 training school of the annual meeting of the Association of Towns will be held at the Hilton, New York, and Towers, New York City on February 14th to the 17th. This is a training session for town officials. Following is a brief outline of the event. Informational hearing on 3 to 5 Sunday afternoon. General opening session for all town offices is 8:45 Monday morning on the 15th. Group sessions for various categories of town offices and special programs will be set forth in a printed program to come out later. There will be a breakfast with the association at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning on February 16th, which you all want to make. And it is required that we appoint a delegate and an alternate delegate to be our official representative.
Okay, gentlemen, we have a motion to appoint town delegate for the annual Association of Town Conference in New York City for February 1999.
I'll make a motion that RCO be the delegate.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. Next, gentlemen, we need a motion to appoint an alternate delegate for town conference.
I'll make a motion that Joe Strand be alternate.
Motion to Mr. Trahan. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That's all I have, sir.
That's all you have.
All right, you can go back to your thing, you got a couple of things. Gotta say how much money you're gonna have. Oh.
Yeah. It's the supervisors. See, also at this time, I'd like to have a motion to have an advancement for the people that are going to the town conference. That advancement be $300. Last year it was $400.
I'll make a motion to advance them $300.
Motion to advance $300. Is there a second to the motion? Motion by second by Mr. Cookman. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, Superintendent of Highways.
I don't really have a report, but I was talking with Jim King today, and he's asking each town to purchase a radio so they could be in contact with fire control in case of emergencies, and I'm wondering what the board's feeling is on it.
To bring up today, I also talked to Mr. King, and as we learned from the last catastrophe we had, communications was not totally adequate for what we were going through. Of course, nobody could ever plan for that. But one step in advancement is to get on the same frequency that everybody is on when there is an emergency. And this is the purchase of radio from Wells Communications, I think, sells them. And Jim King programs on his frequency. Not everybody's allowed in on these frequencies, and they are limited to who can get into them. I really think that the Emergency Preparedness Committee should probably spend a little time to look into this and to get full information out to the board on why this would be necessary. And probably at the next meeting be prepared to purchase this. I believe they're in the vicinity of $1,200 a piece for it.
There's 4 towns have them now.
4 towns already have them.
Yeah.
Are they gonna have these, or are they gonna have it in a town and villages also?
Well,
The villages are buying some too. The village is supposed to purchase one, from what I understood.
Each village?
So in other words, the
Well, they're
town,
asking everybody to do it now. It's not mandatory, just asking you.
no, in other words, if we had one up here, we'd have 3 up here in this area then?
Village of Rouse's Point would probably have one. Village of Champlain would probably have one, but yes, the town would probably have one.
Did he give you a price on that or anything?
Well,
$1,200.
No, okay, I didn't.
Well, you pretty each need one, because if there's something wrong in the village where they need sand.
No, I mean, I just want to know,
they'll
the
call.
village, but it's, I mean, who's gonna run the show?
Well,
Nothing that matters to me, if the village wants to
I
run the
think-
show, it's no problem.
no,
But I mean,
I think with the
you're
emergency.
gonna have three people running a show in the same little area here, or you're gonna have
no,
one?
it's not to run the show.
No.
They said like if they had a fire and they needed a sand truck there to sand, I would have the radio and I would know that I would be needed down there.
See, in the
Just
case
quick
scenario of last
communication.
time, we had communications here, but there were a lot of people that did not have communications. And, you know, you can't call somebody that the phone doesn't work. But with a radio frequency, everybody's on the same frequency, you can communicate between departments. Not only with the fire department, but Jim's office and,
The fire department already hooked up with him anyway, right?
yes, emergency ambulance.
So you don't have to get anything.
Mhm.
They don't
But-
have to get anything.
If you have an emergency of the magnitude we
Hooked
had,
up with them
Fire
already.
department beyond that.
But I don't think they're hooked up with the state police, though, the fire
Yes.
department.
well, they're on the, they have a
This radio
band there
would be.
that they're on.
Yeah, this radio would be, but not, I don't know if they are now.
I don't know.
I don't think so. No, because when they, control center has to call the state police in for an accident or something. Champlain can't get in touch with the state police.
Can't they drop down to that band that the frequency's on?
I thought the chief's radio, the two chiefs radios they can change bands on theirs. And I think that's the radio.
Well, that's something that, you know, the committee's gonna have to find out.
Yeah, I-
Just
I-
a
You know,
advance
report
committee-
back to us,
Advance committee look into this and bring a report
Yeah.
next meeting.
yes,
I'll make that motion.
okay. I don't think we need a second for that, but if we do, Red's ready to give one, so got a job. All in favor, aye. Anything else, Sam?
No.
Okay, Henry Van Acker,
I don't have anything.
okay. Any board member have anything else they'd like to bring up? Madam Clerk? What about the public? We go back to the public right now. Does the public have anything they'd like to address the board with this time? We're here to answer your questions. We only do this once a year. Okay, I have a motion that,
Post audit bills and bills.
oh yeah, hey gentlemen, you got a new post audit bill. That's why I didn't want to do it. How do you like that new?
Better.
Better? Condensed? Jeez, it's so small, I lost mine. Here they are. Boy, you don't have that big sheet anymore, you gotta put your glasses on to read it. Your total bills for the post audit, the bills today are $4,884.34. Is there any discussion on the bills?
Make a motion that we pay them.
Motion that we pay the bills,
Second.
seconded by Mr. DeMars. Is there any discussion on the motion? No further discussion on the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carried. No other business to be brought before this board. Have a motion, we adjourn.
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Wallet, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. DeMars. All in favor signify by saying aye. Here's that brochure if anybody wants to be able to take a look at it.